Sean, your big head's gonna be on the video all day.
That's not good.
Well received. If you guys have any specific comments, good or bad, please feel free to come talk to me about it or write it on your evaluation.
No bad.
Today. Well, you want to know that. As you might have seen, we're trying to do a live streaming thing here. Not sure whether that's going to become a regular thing or not, but it would be helpful to outline jurisdictions if we can make it happen. And so we'll know all the works there. You should all have your handouts in front of you. If you don't have a handout, come find me. There's a sign-in sheet going around, so please sign in so we know you're here. If you have any questions, I think Norb was okay with you raising your hand at any time.
Sure.
So let's get started. Have a great day.
Okay, how many took the first course? That's like the big business. Okay, this one here is going to be more, I would say, in depth, more of you're breaking down into doing case studies and stuff. I want you to learn some of these skills, not just keep talking about them. We'll have lunch at 11:30. Supposed to go to 4:30, but I would say we'll be done at 4:15. You okay with that? After we start on time, we work. Okay. For those who don't know me, I'm from Chicago. It's my hometown. I was born and raised there. Been in this business for 28 years. Worked with over 600 companies as a trainer or consultant or both. Trained over 40,000 foremen, superintendents, project managers over that time frame. I customize programs for companies on an in-house basis. This is more boilerplate because I can't customize, but it's an overview. If I went into a company with this, I would say to the company, is there any things that you really want me to cover that are important to your company? And I can build that into the program. Can't do that here. You get the very group of people. But you'll learn a lot today. And again, knowledge is not power. Remember that. The world's full of educated derelicts. Application of knowledge is power. You learn something, you go back and you apply it, and you get better at what you do. Okay? That's really why training exists. And the other part of training is always like the companies, when I leave, are you going to assign any coaches to the people? Because if I'm struggling with something that somebody taught me and I didn't really comprehend it, I'd like to be able to go to a coach who is, with me in there, and then we go over it together because I want to really get that skill down. So training is not always the answer because I just keep moving through the stuff and we'll take it and move forward. So, and I'll be asking you to take some notes because everything is not in that handout. And I think when you're writing, you're learning. Okay, remember better than if you just have that with it. Now there's separate handouts here. What I did here was this is kind of the subject matter, and this is kind of some handouts, what I call job controls to go with it. So what I would suggest, if you don't have some of these controls in place in your company, use this as a boilerplate and design it to fit your company. Because the biggest problem in this industry is lack of control. Right? Like I'm big on process. Okay, I got up to choreography. What does that mean? Choreography, pulling together. Okay, and as a project manager, what are you pulling together? You may want to write this down. Choreography of what? People. Okay, and as a project manager, as far as I'm concerned, what is your responsibility to develop people? Right? A lot of times they don't comprehend what they're supposed to do. You're out there in the field working with them, or you're a partner. Okay, and if I have a partner, I want them to help me. I don't want them to criticize me. I want them to say, hey, I'm having problems filling out the weekly planning sheet. Can you help me with that? And yeah, listen, I'll go over it. Because it's a requirement that you turn it in every week. But if you don't know how to fill it out, and you turn it in, what am I going to do with it? It's not right. It doesn't help you at all. It doesn't help you either. So when you're working with people, you got to develop people. Productivity. What is productivity? Your effective utilization of resources to achieve the quality and quantity of output. Okay, so we want to get work done on time. We want quality results. Okay, we have a schedule. We'd like to meet that schedule. If it's a tight schedule, then we better start doing some brainstorming on how to figure it out. So you're probably not going to get more hours from the general contract. So it's always good to read the schedule, read the schedule, and look at it because If there are any changes, you want to change it at the time, do it before you start the work. Okay, we're doing the time, people, productivity, process. Process is a systematic, organized way of doing things. This company is very non-process oriented. Got 5 project managers, all project managing differently. That doesn't make sense. There should be one process that all PMs follow. And if there's ideas that come out from the group to improve the process, I'm listening, and we'll change it. But there should be a process. Running a warehouse, for field operation, for estimating. Estimating usually has a pretty good process. Most companies have estimating processes in place, and everybody uses the process. But that's about the only position that has that. The others are, well, you know, we'll figure it out because we go. And some project managers do very well, and some are not doing well because they nobody sat down and here's how we do this. Follow the process. And if you've got an idea that makes it better, always listening. I think it's static. The people, productivity, process, resources. Okay. 7 resources people need. Give me one. Okay, let's call that support. That's a resource. I'm a foreman in the field. I'm confused. I call my project manager. Yeah. I don't want to hear from him. I'm too busy. No thanks. You tell me you're too busy, I don't call you anymore. So when I have a problem, I struggle with it. Screw it up. And then you get mad at me. Well, I called you last time. You said you were too busy. Okay. So support is a resource.
Information.
Yeah, information. You know, do I get the information I need to do the job? Do I know how to fill out an extra work ticket? I'm a foreman. You tell me not to do any extra work without filling out the ticket. Nobody's ever showed me how to do this. And then the general contractor refused to sign it. That's when I call my project manager. So while I have my project manager call you, and if he tells me it's okay to go ahead without signing it, I'll do that. Well, that's not going to happen. But see, I don't want to argue as a foreman out there. I want my partner to help me out. Okay, I'm going to, you know, I always want to learn how to say no without ever using the word. I'd love to fill this out for you, but I think I need approval from my project manager. See, I didn't turn you down. That sounds better. Oh, I'm not going to do this. You know, you're bad. So your language is important. So we want to make sure we have all the resources. So we got information, we've got support. Tools, yeah, the people have the right tools to do the job. I don't have the tools, what do you want from me? I can't be productive. Other ones, material. Yeah, material, right amount, right time at the right time. And where do you store it on a job site? Where do you want to store it? Yeah, where the workers are going to be. You don't want them walking around looking for stuff. That's time wasting. Another resource. I call my name, you answer, okay? That's okay.
The workers.
Huh?
The workers.
Yeah, manpower, people. Yeah, you need the right people with the right skills to do the work. Okay? So as a project manager, if you have to find the people, when the foreman calls you, make sure they tell you what skill they're looking for. You might send them somebody and they can't do the work because they didn't have the right skills. It goes back to communication, part of the thing. Another resource.
Plans, prints,
Information.
information.
Where you said that.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you copying from somebody?
Yeah.
How about training? Training and coaching is a resource. I don't know what to do. I hope somebody shows me how to do it. See? You say, figure it out for yourself. What if I don't know how to do that? See? You train people, coach people. To me, training is useless without backed up coaching. Personal opinion. Because you walk out of a class and you go back to work and you know everything you're back and then all of a sudden you're having a problem with something and there's no coaches in the company. And so you struggle and maybe you don't even do it. Don't not either. Okay. So you gotta have those tools, equipment, material, manpower, information, training, and support. Those are the 7 resources people may need. May not need all of them, but they're gonna need some of them. And so you gotta tune into that. You're a support person. You're not there to do the foreman's job. If you gotta do the foreman's job, something's wrong. Okay? So he'll let you do it. And then it's critical when you told me to do that, or she told me to do that. You're at fault. And so we want resources, and then the other thing is change. A lot of change takes place, right, in the industry. So you got to manage change. Not get upset when something goes wrong. How do we fix it? Okay, so as a partner or a PM, you have to be on guard and not to get all upset when things go wrong. A lot of things go wrong. There's a lot of uncertainty in this business. Do you agree? A lot of uncertainty. You're really managing uncertainty. Okay? It's not a smooth industry, and it depends on who you're working for. Is the GC superintendent competent or incompetent? If he's incompetent, you gotta, what I call, manage up. Manage up. Make him look good. That means you have to have the skills, because if I make him look good, the chances of our company getting more business from them is high. I'm not there to irritate him, even though I'd like to. Why is this guy out here? He doesn't know how to coordinate anything. And so maybe you gotta do that. Okay? Step up. Have a great reputation, because to me, image is everything. What's your image? What's your company image? I create an image by the people I deal with every day. I deal with a project manager who's negative. I say the company sucks. One guy. So it's always having that interactive, positive situation. So it's a blend or a mixture. Write this down. So PMs have to build teamwork. It's all about team, not individuals. Team. What does T stand for? Talent. You have talented people in your company. Do you? Okay. What is E? E. Experience. Okay. Education, that's good. Can I use that? Okay. What's A? Attitude.
Thank you.
You passed already. You don't have to worry. You got 100.
That's it. I'll bet that.
Attitude is everything. Why? Because when something goes wrong, you fix it. I got a positive attitude. So my job call. Something goes wrong, I say, that's my job call. I got to go out and help somebody fix it. Not getting all upset when something goes wrong. That doesn't solve anything. Right? And I can't change your attitude. You own it. Where's the start? Here. How many got this morning said, can't wait to get to North Center? Oh, you stand. What was your attitude when you got out of bed this morning? Mine was a little bit because the election last night drove me nuts. And this motivation. Are you motivated? Do you really like what you do? If you hate what you do, what do you want from me? See? Some people take this job for the wrong reason, which is what? Money. Yeah, well, the place where I'm going to take it. But I don't like doing this work. Well, what do you want from my help you? Okay? So I'm motivated people. I'll set the conditions for you to motivate yourself. That's what I do. I don't motivate anybody, but I set up the right conditions. Okay? And then if the conditions are right and you're still negative, I don't need you. I really don't need you. I'll sit down with you and talk with you, but if you won't change your attitude, I'm going to find a way to have you go somewhere else. Okay? Because to me, attitude is everything. It's all about team. Okay? So teamwork, feedback, write this down. A lot of feedback and a lot of communication. And when people are doing something wrong, don't point it out right away. Say, why are you doing that? Get the feedback. Sometimes people attack right away when something goes wrong, and then from there it's just downhill because there's no communication. It's arguing, anger, and that doesn't solve anything. So I always say, well, why are you doing it this way? You don't know how to do it, I'll show you. But after this, you better do it. Well, what if I don't do it? Well, there's consequences. You may not work here anymore. You decide your future, not me. I don't want to be a bad guy, but if you're not going to do your job, I'm not going to protect you. I don't protect non-performers. I'm not going to do that. Okay? Got to work, you get paid. Documentation is another thing. Write that down. Document things. You're not going to, in a union environment, it's hard to terminate somebody if you don't have the proper documentation. Write it up. What was the problem? Why are you disciplining the person? Did he come in late 3 times this week and you sat down with him and he still refused to come back? I'm writing all that down. And I'm giving a copy to the guy. I'm not trying to hurt you, but if you're not going to follow the way we operate here, I'm going to go to the union and say, take this guy and put him somewhere else. He's not helping us. Here's the documentation. Without documentation, you lose. You lose. Especially if you go in front of an arbitrator and you have documentation, you'll say case closed. Next. But it's not always fun to have to sit down and write these things up, but it's part of your job. Handling disputes, resolving disputes. We'll talk later about how do you manage conflict. I don't want it, but when it comes, I know how to deal with it. See? There's a positive way to deal with it and a negative way to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it negatively because we're not going to solve a problem. But conflict is going to happen. Expect it. Okay? People don't always agree with everything. Problem solving. You gotta be a problem solver. We'll do a case study on that, okay? You gotta manage the general contractor. If he's incompetent, you're gonna live with that? I hope not. So I believe in managing up. Get him to do the things you want him to do by maybe helping him along the way. So what do you manage? Write this down. You manage quality. You manage costs. You manage production. And you manage the schedule. Those are 4 key things that you have to manage. So you have to be adaptable and flexible in an uncertain industry. For example, what's uncertain in this industry?
Schedule.
Give me one.
Weather.
Weather, thank you. Yeah, I don't control the weather. Weather causes delays, so maybe we should stop working until it stops pouring rain. Other trades, they may not be working with you. The general contractor may not be coordinating the other trades. So somebody from the some subcontractor foreman should step up and do that. And then contact his PM. Another uncertainty.
Manpower sometimes.
Yeah, you don't have the skilled manpower. Okay, you're shortage of people. Do what you got. Try to find the right person. Another uncertainty.
How did the material get there?
Yeah, at what time did we, also, somebody didn't communicate to put them on the second floor and right next to room 222, so the supplier dropped them downstairs and drove away. What do we gotta do now? Double handle it, which costs us money. So somebody didn't communicate to the supplier, hey, when you bring this material, get it up on the second floor, room 222, we're paying you for that. We're gonna ask for a refund if you don't do that. So that's why you need to have that meeting with that supplier before you start any job to make sure they understand what you expect. There's expectations going both directions. A lot of times we make assumptions. Well, sure, he's gonna drive up and put it on the second floor. Why would he do that if you didn't tell him? You can't read your mind. He'll get it there, but he's not gonna take it where you want it if you didn't tell him. Now you're yelling at him. You say, wait a minute, you didn't communicate that. Oops. So a lot of uncertainty, huh? Tight labor budget. So gotta work through it. So PM's gotta do a lot of things. That's why I personally am not, when an owner says, Norb, should the PM also do estimating? My answer is not really. If the guy can handle both, he's competent, he can do that, I'm not gonna argue with you. But typically it doesn't really work that well. Because when there's a push on estimating, what happens? No PM, not visible. So what happens then? And then, yeah, and the foreman doesn't call anymore. So there's a disconnect between the office and the field. It's not a one company, it's what? Could be 9 companies. 9 jobs going on, no connection with the office. Not a good company. Productivity is going to go in the toilet. And why is productivity important? It's our patent profit. Patent profit. So what you need to focus on is productivity, not profit. Profit's a result of how productive you are. Productive means be effective. What does effective mean? No, that's different. That's the next definition. You got to write this down, okay? Effect, always do the right thing. If you don't know what right thing to do, what do you do? Ask somebody. You got it? Good man. Be effective. Always do the right thing. And we got to know what the right thing is, huh? That should be who? The project manager. Project manager. Superintendent, if you have one, that handles the labor. And the foreman is the team triangle. Those are the 3 most important people in a construction company. When they're tied to the hip, a lot of good things happen. Everybody else is ancillary and support. That's how it should run. Okay? Great, very, very important job. So a manager is what? A person who gets a job done on time, on schedule, quality results, want to make sure the right job controls are in place, and make sure that his people are skilled to do the work. That's a manager. Okay. Project manager, and there's a manager. So the manager has to have 3 sets of skills. It's fat on skills, not food. You're managing, you gotta have 4 functional skills to be effective and efficient. If you don't have these, start learning them, because you're gonna drop the ball. The first one is planning. A good manager always is planning, looking ahead. Foremen have to do weekly planning. It's not an option. If they don't want to do it, they can't be foreman. Okay? It's a requirement. Guy hates paperwork, he shouldn't be a foreman. I hate my mother-in-law, who cares? Why should you get along with it? Yes, dear. Okay. So planning, forecasting, looking ahead. Weekly. Maybe 2 weeks. Do more than 2 weeks look ahead. Some people do 2-week look ahead. Don't do 3-week look ahead. You're going to fail. It's too long, too global. Too many changes, too many uncertainties. But weekly, every week, the foreman's got to turn it in. You got to help him as a PM, because you may not know what you're talking about. In fact, the second set of handouts I gave you is a copy of a pre-job planning, weekly planning sheet. If you don't have that in your company, get it implemented. I don't want to be doing the foreman's work. I want to help him, but I want him to plan his work. He's out there every day. I'm not around and around. And when you go to a job as a project manager, you should have a purpose. A purpose. Why are you going to that job? Find out what does the foreman need help on, and then spend your time with him giving him that. Don't be a visitor. Walk around with the guys on everything. Okay, I got to go now. I got another job to go to. And the foreman said, "What did you come out here for? You're not helping me. You spent talking to me about what I did last night. You know, I got problems here. Well, I got to go now. Call me later." You're not going to hear from them. So when you go to a job site, have a purpose. Now, if you got a lot of jobs to manage, you're going to have a problem. Because my rule is if you can't get to a job at least once a week, something's wrong. Something's wrong. You're overloaded with work, or you got a lot of incompetent foremen. Right? Both are fixable. But I can't load you up with estimating too. It's unrealistic. Right? So I think that project managers should manage it. That's where the money is. Okay? What if there's a bad estimate? You're going to manage it, right? Estimator's not going out there. In fact, what should happen, the estimator should walk the job with the PM and the foreman before they even put anything down on that estimate. There's something to look at. They should go look at the job. Look at the conditions. It's coming out of the ground, yeah, there's nothing to look at. I mean, sometimes you're going into a job, you're going to do some changes on the job. Get the estimator out there. Have them look at it. You go with the PM. Review it for them. Walk around. I believe in MEWA, write this down. You know what that means? Manage by walking around. Are we sitting in a trailer? Nothing's going on there. Foreman going over to the trailer. What are you going to the trailer for? My project manager wants to talk to me. No, that's the last time he's going to be out talking to you. I don't want you walking over to the trailer. Crazy. If that guy's making the money, he's walking to a trailer. What's that going to do for us? You know, it's not that we just don't do the right stuff. That's not effective, right? It's not effective. It's always what's effective. So, planning, organize. Are you organized? We'll talk about organizing. Can people get what they need when they need it? Is it they're located in the place where they're working? No organization. No organization. Most companies are disorganized. People are, I can't get this. I can't find this. I didn't get where's the gang box way down at the end of the hall. Why isn't it over here? I'm walking down there. People don't think about those things. Be organized. Third one is give people proper direction. You're a manager. You direct people. Give instructions. Right? Because why do you need to do that? You got 4 kinds of people working for you. Write this down. You got to know your people. How much direction do they need? Everybody doesn't need the same direction. Okay? Number 1 is the top performer. If you're a top performer, I'm a top performer. I do my job. I don't need much supervision. Tell me what you want, and I'll beat the deadline. I got a positive attitude. I work well with people. I'm a problem solver. All I want from you, boss, is get out of my way. If I need you, I'll call you. Okay? You don't micromanage top performers. You want to irritate them? Do that. Okay? They're gone. How many are there? 0-100%. 10? A little bit more. About 20. One guy in class I had 5%, he started crying. He said, no, I know I almost screwed up. I moved up performers. Usually if you got 20%, that's probably it. Okay? There aren't that many out there. If you got 30%, hug them every day. Buy lunch, okay? Those are the people I don't want looking for a job. Micromanage them, they're gone. Why are they gone? Because they're good. Why would they stay in an environment where somebody is bothering them every day? They're out of here. They're high confident people, see? I already got this ingredients. And you got your solid performers. Good people, want to do good work, but they're the one task at a time people. Top performer is what? Multitask. I can give a top performer 5 or 6 things to do, and he's okay with those. See? Boom, boom, boom. Balances everything, juggles everything. Solid performer said, boss, give me one job at a time with a deadline. So I give him a note card with 6 jobs on it, with a deadline on each one. Here's your card, don't bother me. You get a problem on it, he's call me, but this is what you got to get done by 4 o'clock today. Here's your 6 items, here's the timelines next one, take care of it. What will the solid performer do? Take care of it. And you check on him periodically. How you doing? Is everything okay? Need anything for me? I'll touch base with him, a couple times during the day. But he's a meet the deadline type of person, not beat the deadline. He's a good employee, no problem with that. You meet the schedule, I'm happy. So the GC. 40% are solid. I'm giving you my numbers that I see out there when I go around the country. About 40% of the population are solid performers. They want to do good work. They don't have attitude problems. But they want the resources they need to do their job. And they will ask you for that. So just give it to them. Play games with them. Then you got your problem employee, the safe performer. Guy gets up in the morning and says, how can I irritate my boss today? He doesn't want to work. What does he want? Free money. Yeah, how can I get my PM all upset or my foreman all upset? I'll come in late today. You walk in 20 minutes late. Why does he do that? He wants to irritate you. He knows that's going to irritate you. Right? He doesn't really want to work. How do you deal with this guy? Yeah, that's good. Thank you. You start documenting, then you sit him down and ask him why he's so negative. Whatever he said, you say, that's fine, but if it's something that you need to do your job, I get you that, but if you just don't want to do your job, that's not acceptable. If you don't want to do your job, I'm going to have to let you go. Tell me what you want to do. And I'm writing all this up, just so you know. I'm not going to protect you. I'll give you another chance. Why am I giving another chance? Yeah, I don't want to go out for somebody again. This guy's got something stuck in his craw. I don't know what it is, but can't live with it. It's a behavior problem. Maybe he's got problems at home. I don't know. If he does, take some time off and go take care of him. See you next month. And he's the person that they can sit down with, you write him up, and you say, you coach him, show him the right way to do things, and then say, if I come back tomorrow and you're still going down the wrong path, I'm going to let you go. You communicate consequences, and then you deliver the consequences. But you communicate them first. Give a guy an opportunity to change. Otherwise, I get rid of him. I got to find somebody else. I really don't want to do that, but I will, because I'm not going to protect anybody who will not be a team player. Because that's the way we operate. And when you hire somebody, let them know how your company operates. Don't just sit up there and we're a team company here. You just can't run around and do what you want. So if you don't fit into that, you're not going to have a long-term employment here. Be honest with people. Here's the requirements. A lot of people don't tell people how a company functions. They don't tell them that. So a guy comes in and he starts screwing around. He doesn't feel like working today. No, not gonna work. So you gotta watch out for these 30% safe performers. That's a lot. No one need close supervision. Okay, you gotta keep an eye on. And then you got your slows. Always negative. If you fire them, they say, how much took you so long? I didn't want to do this anyway. They really don't want to work. They just cause trouble. And when you fire them, they're not upset. But you got to die. Because if you don't, they're going to still be there. Because they won't terminate it without evidence. But I wouldn't, these are not second chance people. They just don't belong. It's good they're only about 5%. There's more than that. Wow, what a problem. Okay. So, you know, plan, organize, proper direction, or functional skill is control. Are you in control, or do the animals run the zoo? Okay. And control, the word for it is accountability. Big issue in this industry, lack of accountability. Okay? And when you have no accountability, the animals run the zoo. That may not be very productive. Okay? And in order to have an accountability system, first thing, set your standards. Standard is a measure of performance. Like, what's the standard for quality? No rework, and what else? Install according to spec. Those are the two standards. Standards should never be violated. Okay? So you've got to make sure that people know what they're doing and they know what the specs are. That's on you. They should meet standards. If they're having problems, they should call you and you help them. But always start with the standard. Standard for production. Help them out. Production. Meet or beat the labor budget. I'm giving you an honest budget. I'm not shaving any hours. Here's the estimated hours for the job. If you have problems, call me. We'll see what we can do. Because I don't think I'm going to get more hours. And you see now why you want the estimator involved in looking at the conditions of the job before he puts an estimate together? Because if he's just working in the office off a set of prints, he's probably not going to cover everything. So it may not be a very good estimate. It's too late. Now we got to have a plan B to do it. But I'm going to give the foreman an honest budget. I'm not going to shave numbers off. Because when he finds out I shave numbers, what happens?
Doesn't trust you.
That's right. And when there's no trust, there is no team. You don't exist in my mind. You're gone. Mentally, you're gone. Okay? You want to trust people, don't lie to them. You know, trust is really integrity. I tell you something, I'm telling you the truth here. I'm not sugarcoating anything. And I want you to do the same with me. That's the relationship I want. Trust relationship. If I'm screwing up, tell me. I get mad. Work it out. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. Let's just move along and keep doing the right thing. So, accountability, set your standards, let your people know what they are. Give them the resources they need to meet those standards. Right? Follow up and check and do some coaching if they're having difficulty. If they're doing good, give them positive feedback. Pat them on the back. Say, hey, great job, you're doing really well here. Thank you. Positive reinforcement. That's a motivator. Person not meeting the standards, say what's going on, how you're struggling with this. Well, I really don't understand it. Well, let me go over it one more time. I'll coach you. When I walk away, you and I now know, you know. When I come back next week, this is the way you got to be doing it. Got me? What happens if I don't be doing it? You go, what are you doing for? You want to be liked? Don't be a manager. Because people sometimes don't like to be challenged or disciplined. You got kids. And, your kids like you, you're a lousy parent. Sorry. And sometimes you gotta do something that they're not gonna be happy with, but it's the right thing to do. Always do different things. So those are your functional skills: plan, organize, direct, and control. If you don't do those, you're not gonna be able to do that. So it's not for everybody. Adaptive skills is leadership. People skills, right? You manage the project, you lead the people. You don't manage people, you lead people. We'll talk a little bit later about leadership, but there's 3 leadership styles, just quickly. There's Theory X, which is my way or the highway. I'm the boss, tell you what to do. If I say jump, you should say, how high? When I work for somebody like that? No. Theory Y, nice guy, friendly, outgoing, pat you on the back, tell you how great you are. When you have a problem, what does he do? Leaves, abandons you. And he goes to a lot of meetings because he doesn't want to do shit. He loves meetings. Why? Because he can talk all day, never do anything. Usually when you're trying to get a hold of him, he's sitting in some meeting. This guy all these meetings, I never see him. He's a nice person, but ineffective with people. So I don't need somebody to be petting me, tell me how great I am and not help me when I'm in trouble. I don't need that. And then you got Theory Z, build team. We're all in this together. I need you, you need me, let's work together. Let's help each other succeed. I'm here for you. Okay? And so, you know, adaptive skills is a big thing, because if they don't know how to lead people, then the animals run the zoo. And technical is, you know, go to an apprenticeship program, 4 or 5 years, come out of there, you should have all the technical skills to do your job. It's a task. You know, wiring a panel, all that stuff, underrun the cable, install me. That's what you learn. You learn all the tasks. And the person who was diligent, paid attention, and went to the school and had a good attitude, they're ready to go to work when they want. You put them on the job, the response to this guy's ready. Hopefully he's ready, paid attention, he's protecting him in school. That's where you learn the technical skills. And sometimes the person with good technical skills is not always a good manager. So, of course, some people never want to become managers or foremen because they just don't want to take work home. They just want to walk out at 4 o'clock and I'm done. That's okay. You need people like that. Being a foreman or manager or supervisor is not for everybody. So, now let's talk about what is a witness. Okay? There's a project manager we just talked about. A witness is somebody that what? What would you consider a witness? An observer. We'll go out to the job, make a visit, walk around with the foreman, but fix nothing. Just a lot of conversation, but no help to the foreman about how to solve problems or fix things or how to deal with the GC that's giving you a hard time. Doesn't exist. So after a while, the foreman says, I'm not calling him anymore. It just comes out here and just wastes my time. Well, I don't need that. You know, I need some help with the general contractor superintendent. I brought him my weekly planning sheet last week. I showed it to the GC. The superintendent looked at it, ripped it up, and threw it in the garbage can. He said, don't be bringing these things to me. I run this job. I tell you what to do. What would you do if somebody said that to you? You don't know, see? Who's in charge? Who's in control here? GC. He doesn't know what to do. I don't want you to fight and argue with him. So what do you do? Project manager. Okay. The project manager comes out and says, I don't know what to do here. This guy gave you said, Norb, you said give him my weekly planning sheet. I gave it to him. He left and he ripped it up and threw it in the garbage can. I don't want to fill this out anymore. Wasting my time here. What do you want me to do? I said, well, let's go talk to him. Come on. Now, why didn't I go by myself? Because I don't have the problem. He does. But he needs support, resource, right? So we go see the GC, and I say, hey, I go in and talk to you about an issue here. And he'll say, who are you? And I'll tell him who I am. And he said, what's your issue? I said, well, I'll have my foreman tell you. He's going to tell you what the issue is. Well, last week I gave you a copy of my weekly planning sheet, and you looked at it, ripped it up, threw it away, and says, I don't need this, I'll run the job. And I say to the guy, is that accurate? Yeah, it's accurate, and it's going to happen again. I don't want to see that sheet. And I say, unacceptable. Unacceptable. We're trying to help you meet the schedule. That's why he fills this out. Because every week he's got to meet a certain milestone tied into your schedule. And for some reason, you're not paying attention here. You're ripping it up. So you're causing us to be ineffective. Not going to happen. Well, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to go see your boss. Right now. Want to go with me? Come on, I'll drive. Why do I say that? Yeah, and I'm not trying to hang him out to dry, see? I'll speak in front of you. But if you don't want to go, I'm going anyway. And I'm going to explain to him what just happened here and tell your boss that this is totally unacceptable. And he should do something about this with you. But we're trying to do our job and you're an impediment. Got it? And maybe we should sit down. Thank you. That's what I was trying to do in the first place. But I'm going if he says I don't care. I'm going. And present this information. I don't know if I'm going to win or not, but I'm not going to walk away. And if I find out his boss supports him, I don't know why we're working for this company. I'm going back to my owner now and give him some feedback and say, you know what we're dealing with here? You know what the people who are working with, what they did to me, let me tell you what just happened. So if you want to continue working with this general contractor, I think you want to go have a meeting with their owner. I'm telling my owner to go to a meeting with their owner, and I'll go with you if you want. Because this is not working. It's a win-lose situation here. I don't think you want to continue down this road, right? You want to make some money, don't you? Well, this situation is not helping us. So what I'm saying to you is don't back down, but don't get personal. You know, I like to knock the guy out. No, idiot. But I'm not going to call him that. So that's called leadership. Nothing to do with handshake. And when you get a reputation that you won't put up with a lot of BS, what happens? You want to get respect. I don't care if we like each other, but you're not going to disrespect me. Like each other. I'm not going to go drinking with you. I don't want to drink. I don't like you, so why would I go drinking with you? But I won't disrespect you. And don't disrespect me. That's the kind of, we have a trust relationship here. That's what you got to do. And that's your reputation. That gets around. You don't push these people around. They stand up to you. You better be careful what you say to their PM when he comes out here. Okay? He's a combative guy, but he never treats you with disrespect. So sometimes, you know, witnessing is not a good idea. There's no fix. They abandon the foreman, their observers. They don't really know how to fix anything. Sometimes it'd be, I guess, I would think a good PM would have field experience. You know, that would help, but I don't know that that's completely necessary, but it would help. I know a company that before they put a guy into a project manager role who hasn't had field experience, they have him work 3 months in the field before they elevate him. At least to give him a taste of what the foreman has to live with. They just don't take a guy without field experience and say, you're a PM tomorrow. There's a 3-month kind of a lag there to get a feel for, you know, what you have to, how you're going to see what the foreman does. Because a lot of times the guy having that field experience, you don't understand anything, you know, about these conditions. It's hard to be functional in bad conditions. So, you know, so write this down. We really want to strive for excellence. Now, let's grab this up, because that's really what creates your image. You want to be seen as an excellent company. And excellence starts with striving for perfection. I want to work for a company that's always striving for perfection. Is that attainable? No? So what's the message in that statement? Striving for perfection. Continuous improvement. If anybody's got an idea how to make us more effective, I'm listening. It will change. Okay? I want everybody to know that in our company, we're not status quo. If you got a good idea, let me know what it is. If it makes sense, we'll implement it. If it doesn't make us better, I'll turn you down. But I want to be open. They got 10 ideas, 2 are great. So I really want a think tank out there. People thinking all the time. You never know who's got a good idea. Just be open to it. I'm not saying you're going to use them all, but if they make it better, yeah, hey, thanks for that. I'd probably give the guy an incentive for that. That's domino encouragement. Well, you know, they use your idea, and if it works over a 3-month period, they give you a gift certificate, $100 or something. What a great company here. Here's what they paid for. Good climate, huh? That's extremely important when you're working with people making changes. So the second thing in excellence is what? Painstaking attention to details. You want to be an excellent company. Painstaking attention to details. And why are details important? Yeah, when we work, you get the quality results. Pay attention to details. Number 3, endless work. Every day's a brand new day. Don't care what you did yesterday. Back at it again, folks. Let's go. Endless work. We're always on top of things. High energy, high enthusiasm. Do your best work every day. Personally, do your best work every day. I'm going to go to work every day. I'm going to do my best work every day. That's my attitude. I don't watch what other people do or don't do. I don't do that. That's who I am. And maybe that'll rub off on people. Is that a good example? Right? Don't become negative. Work smarter, not harder. Got an idea? Let me know if it's a better way to go. We're going that way. I don't care. I don't want people working 78 hours a week. Why don't I want people working 78 hours a week? Burnout. After 50 hours, you go brain dead. It stops. Yeah, you're putting in hours, but it's not getting us anything because you're weary. The mind just breaks down. When people brag to me, they're working 78 hours a week, I said, you know, you're on your way to a heart attack. What are you doing that for? Killing yourself. Stop it. Embrace change. Don't resist it. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, we'll toss it out and try something else. But let's not say, oh, that ain't going to work. Don't be a naysayer. Maybe as we're working with it, we can modify it as we go. Change is a good thing. It's not necessarily, but don't change it to change. Be better. And then the last one is never stop learning. Never stop learning. The industry is changing all the time. So we want managers, we don't want witnesses. If you're estimating and project managing and you're weary and tired, you feel you're not doing an effective job, you should talk to your own. Don't live in that situation. Talk to your boss first. Because a lot of people just hang in there and they try to do this and they become angry and upset, hard to deal with. They're tired and they're not effective. Now, is it a climate where you work where you can go talk to the owner and he listens to you? I don't know. Right? Otherwise, you can just say, well, just suck it up. Thank you. I didn't need that answer. So on your cover there, what do we got on the front sheet of that? Read that first. The reality is what? Chaos. It is a chaotic environment. Okay, I accept that. But if I don't have the right tools to do the job, I can't work through chaos. We're not gonna change the chaos, to change our resources, our skills to deal with it. Next.
Are you a doormat or a leader?
And you let the general contractor push you around, and he takes over, or do you stand up like I talked about in that example? Number 3.
Seeing the value equals less headaches.
Yeah, see, the value of doing things good, there's value in this, it's gonna help us meet the schedule, which causes us less headache, struggling with things.
Stop playing the blame game.
Yeah, what is wrong with that?
Just pointing fingers never gets anywhere.
And what happens when you blame people? They get upset, and then you start, emotion kicks in, and there's no movement, right? Next one.
See that?
Right? A lot of negative things happen. How are you gonna deal with them? You're either positive or negative. That's why you gotta be a problem solver, because the GC may not be a problem solver. He's a problem creator. Next one.
GC won't save you from yourself.
Yeah, the GC's not gonna save you from yourself. If he can walk all over you, what's he gonna do? He will. He will. Next one.
Make it automatic.
What is automatic?
Without thinking, just, not necessarily, without thinking, but something you do repetitively that can
Is that a habit?
Yeah.
How long does it take to develop a habit?
be, I don't know, 10,000-hour rule?
21 days.
Huh?
21 days.
21 days. Do something 21 days in a row, what's the habit? Fine, don't argue with it, just do it. Right? You gotta do 21 consecutive days. And a lot of people quit halfway through. I'm a jogger. I jog every morning a couple of miles at 5 a.m. I pop up in the morning at 5 a.m. I don't even need a clock. I'm programmed. Okay? And I go on to do my 2 miles. When I first started this about 12 years ago, I'm not going out today, screw that. So I said, well, until you get to 21 days, you're never going to do this. I finally listened and it worked. Okay? So, you want good habits. Automatic, get on automatic. Yeah, whenever you do something, say, here's what it's going to do for you. Here's the benefits. Sell the benefits. Somebody's going to buy the benefits. I go anyway. I know I'm going to do the right thing. Okay? Next one.
Do things better than they did.
Yeah, we're better than them. We are better than them. We are a top 10 company. We are good at what we do. And everybody should think like that, and practice that.
Make the GC look good.
Yeah, adversarial relationships, all win-win. I'm gonna make them look good. I'm gonna show them how we get a job done on schedule. Okay? You usually want to start a fight with somebody. That's the first thing you want to do. You don't like the guy and give me a hard time. No, offset that. Wake them up. So these are kind of the things in them. So deep dive into project management. Planning again is important. What's the first step in the plan? I'm going to put a plan together, what you should be doing every day, every week. What's the first step? Have a goal, set a goal. You don't have a goal, you don't have a plan. So get your foreman to plan weekly. Set a goal for the week. Where do they want to be on Friday, 4 o'clock? It's Monday. Sit down with them. Okay? And after you have the goal, what's the next step you do? Yeah, write down all the activities, the tasks that you have to do to reach that goal. Brainstorm with your foreman. Both of you talking. You make a list of activities. What has to happen between now and Friday to meet that goal? And you throw out your ideas, and he throws out his ideas, and you write them on a list, okay? And you may have 15 tasks that you got to get done between now and Friday. Now what do? You got the goal, you got the task. What's the third step?
Implement.
Prioritize them. Put them in order of importance. Set priorities. Which one do I have to do first, second? And then when you write it down, put a deadline next to each activity. This has to be done by Thursday, 3 o'clock. You're forecasting. I'm not saying that's the right, but you got to give a roadmap for me to follow here. I'm a foreman. I don't want it to be walking around and trying to figure it out as we go. Oh, here's your plan. If you run into an obstacle, call me. We'll replan it. Keep the line of communication open all the time. Write your activities down, deadline on them, when they're going to be done. Okay, next step. Give the foreman the resources he needs to do those activities. Does he need certain tools, equipment? Oh, man, remember the 7 resources. What is he gonna need to execute and get those done? Then you gotta get that to him before he starts. If he doesn't have it, he can't execute the plan. Okay? And then he's got everything to do. Now, who said implement? Somebody said that. Now it's time to implement. Now go do it. Start doing it. And what do I do now? Next step. Follow up and check. I walk around MEWA, manage by walking around. I'm checking how the guy's doing. If he's doing a meeting the deadlines, what do I do? Yeah, pat him on the back. Thanks, you're really doing a good job here. I appreciate that. He's not doing it. He's not gonna miss it. What do you do?
Suggestions.
And coach him. No, I can't change that deadline. We gotta get done by Friday. So what do we gotta do to get it done by 4 o'clock? Can't change it. That GC already expects that to be done. I'm not gonna disappoint him. I already made a commitment. We got to get another guy out here. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, we're gonna do it. Okay? We're not gonna let them down after we made a commitment. When you don't honor your commitments, what's your reputation? Shit, you're right. Yeah, so you guys don't know what you're doing. I would nobody ever say that to my people. Never. We always know what we're doing. Okay? We rise above the incompetencies. We're better than that. Follow up and check, make adjustments, move on. That's a plan. Always have a plan. Don't be shooting from the hip, reacting. That means be proactive, not reactive. Proactive, you have a plan. Reactive is you wait for something to happen, then you go take care of it. And maybe it doesn't even work. It's too late. It causes more problems. Okay. Problem solved. 6 steps. Write these down. Again, you gotta have a process. You can't just shoot from the hip. There's a 6-step process for problem solving. Every step has to be followed. Number 1, clearly define the problem. Be specific. If I said to you, your quality is not good, what would you say to me? See, now I'm going to answer that. What's the real problem here? Haven't even defined it. Well, let me go over this spec with you that the GC gave me last night. Here's how we got to do this. Here. Okay? You're okay, right? I did my job. I gave you what you needed. Here's what he's talking about in terms of quality. Here's the spec he wants followed. Don't argue with him. Just do it. Okay? You don't want an adversarial relationship. Second step in problem solving is identify the underlying causes. Why did this problem occur? Until I know why it happened, I can't solve it. So you gotta kind of, why did this happen? Why did we have rework here? What happened? I didn't really follow the spec you gave. Okay, why did you do that? We went over budget, cost us an extra $300. Gonna write me a check? No, I'm not writing you a check. Well, then you see what you just cost the company? You get it? Yeah, well, I got it. You know, I'm penetrating, say, don't do this again. I'm being facetious about a check, but sometimes I'm trying to turn a guy up. You realize the impact here that you did, it's just not good, it's money. It costs us another $300. You're gonna have that in the budget. That's how you're gonna talk to people, because most people say, what's the big deal? I mean, there's a dollar here, dollar amount. Oh, you gotta get people to engage their brain, not their brain. So you got all the causes. The third step is, what are the possible solutions? This is I call it again brainstorming. What do you think we should do here? And I'll throw out ideas and you throw out ideas. We'll just make a list of ideas, maybe 6, whatever, it doesn't matter how many. And we're brainstorming. Maybe we'll ask somebody else to get involved here. Maybe I'll call the superintendent in too while we're brainstorming. Maybe he's got some ideas. I'm not the only smart guy here. Okay, now we got our ideas. We kind of listed, and the fourth step, which is the most important step. What result are we looking for? What's our objective? Step 4. What are we trying to accomplish here? I don't get that objective straight, I can't solve the problem. But we got to get this weekly planning sheet and these hours done by Friday at 4 o'clock. Now I go back to all those solutions we wrote down and pick those that meet that objective. Maybe there's 10 ideas, we pick 3 of them that meet the objective. And those are the ones we execute. Execute. Go do it now. Okay? So pick the best solution or solutions, okay, and implement. So what do you see by problem solving? Sequential, logical process. Not shoot from the hip. You don't go from problem to solution. You missed all the steps. It's probably not going to work. So now we got to go back to the drawing board. We should have done it that way the first time. We're going to have to go back to the drawing board. So don't give me this time factor. That's all baloney. There's a process, follow it. And typically it'll work for you if you judiciously follow it and get the right people involved. So that's problem solving. People development is coaching. If you're not coaching, you're not leading. So what's the first step in coaching? Be supportive. I call a guy in, he messed up, he went over budget. What do I say to him?
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna stop asking you. What does that mean? Guy was going over budget. First, I bring him in to talk to him, and his first step, he's support. So how do I start the conversation? He's probably walking in with a negative mindset. Oh, the boss wants to see me. Wonder what's going on now. What do I say to him? Thank you. I say, you know, the safety on your job has really been outstanding. And I want you to know I appreciate that. What did that cause? Thank you. Set up a listening partnership. If there's no listening, there's no communication. Okay? So I supported you. Told you how great you are in safety. And all of a sudden, okay, all right, okay. Second step. Now, what's the issue? Now I go to the issue, and now I don't point it out. What do I do? Why do you really think I have you here? Why do you think I brought you in here today? Well, I went over budget yesterday. $100. Thank you. That's exactly why you're here. Now, if he doesn't know, I'm going to point it out. A lot of people know what their problem is. And once somebody is aware of it, it's solvable. Okay, you're right. That's why I called you in here. We went over budget yesterday. It cost us a couple $100. Third step, okay? What do you think the impact of that is? Third step is establish impact. What is the impact of $300 over budget? What's the impact? Yeah, all of a sudden they hit our profit. Do you realize that? Oh, I want the light to go on. So what's the big deal? What are you talking about? What's the big deal? That's $300 that we didn't have. Do you want to write a check to me? I always say that. Of course the answer is no. And I expect a no. I don't even want the check. I'm just trying to what? Establish impact. Wake up. This is not a game. It's a business. Now, once the impact is there, the chances of making this better are greater. But now you realize what the impact is. So step 4 is, okay, how do we fix it? Initiate a plan. What do we got to do to offset this making mistakes, just spending money without doing it right the first time? What has to happen? Is it me? Did I give you proper information? Please tell me. I could have blown it here. Always want the person that I'm working with to know that I'm not a perfect leader. And if you want people to trust you and respect you, admit your mistakes. Don't try to blame other people. It's never me. Come on, nobody brag like that. So our relationship is severed. And there's no communication. You just. So sometimes I'm the problem, right? And we'll work through that. let's you and I put a plan together to offset this in the future. Tell me what I gotta do, get a commitment, that's the next one. Here's what I'm gonna do, what are you gonna do? And I will never accept the words, I'll try, never. Why? Yeah, because if you tried and didn't do it, I accepted that. So why would I have an issue with you? I said, no, I want a commitment, yes or no? If you answer no, tell me why. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there's something else we didn't talk about. See, I'm okay with no. I don't get mad when people say no. Tell me why you're saying no. Well, you forgot one of the issues, this general contractor superintendent does not listen to reason. I think you and I need to go talk to them. Let's do that. I'm glad you brought that up. You don't listen to me. Well, why did you say why? You don't know that I see you really want to help. No, I'm telling you the truth. See? People testing you all the time. What kind of leader are you? So we confront the excuses, the resistance, we come up with our plan, and then what do? Execute the plan. And everybody, if it works, if he's happy, I'm happy, you're happy, we're all happy, we got a win-win relationship. Okay? Move on. So there's no punishment here. The last step is never give up on people. Everybody learns at a different rate. Except the slow. Except the slow, they're gone already, you know, don't please don't move them out. Don't waste your time. That was just you driving you into the grave. All right, so let's talk about the win-win relationship with the TC. There's trust. How do you establish a trust relationship?
The belief that those of whom I depend will meet my expectations of them, which requires one, fulfillment of results promised to others, which includes clear performance targets, support system in place, and accountability.
Which we just covered. Set the goal, right? I'm here to help you. I'm your partner. Anytime you need me, you call me, and I will be there. The third one is,
Well, there are two active, no accountability.
yeah, and I'm accountable. If I blow it, you tell me. You know, if you didn't carry out your end of the bargain, that wasn't my fault. You didn't give me that material I needed. You said you're gonna get me yesterday at 4 o'clock. You didn't even get it out here. So what are you coming after me for? You blew that one. Okay, good relationship. You're right.
Two act with integrity.
What is integrity?
A lot of meetings, integrities, I do what I said.
It's honesty. Tell you the truth. You tell me the truth, I tell you the truth. You tell me the truth. Don't sugarcoat things. Don't talk behind my back. Don't attack me. And I won't do that to you.
Demonstrate genuine concern for others.
And I'll always coach you first. So I want you to succeed. And I have a genuine concern for helping people succeed. I don't want to fire anybody. But I gotta be a coach. See, so when you want these trust relationships, it's I gotta do something, you gotta do something. Oh, that. Well, not positive relationship with the general contractor. What do I mean by behavioral style? Understand behavioral style. No? Okay. There's the 4 behavioral styles that people generally operate with. There are dominant people. When you hear dominant, what do you hear? I'm dealing with a dominant GC superintendent. How does he tend to operate?
Stuffy chest.
Huh?
Stuffy chest.
Yeah, I'm the boss, you do what I tell you. Okay? What really gets him listening to me? I'm gonna give him answers that are gonna meet the goal he's looking for. You want us to be at this part on the job by Friday, 4 o'clock. Here's how we're gonna do it. Are you okay with this? It doesn't work, kick us off the job. Who's in charge now? Me. Got it? All right? Dominant people, they're bullies. And just do what I tell you, get some more guys out here, you know, beginning all this bull. No, I'm not bringing more guys out here. That's not effective. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm not going in that room, get those other 3 trays out of there by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, so my crew can go in there and meet your deadline at 2 o'clock that you want this area cleaned up and the actual, install those panels in there. Otherwise, don't be telling me go in there when you got 3 other trades walking around. I can't get it done. We can't be effective. So are you gonna do that tomorrow? Because I'm not bringing 3 more people out here. I have a budget to protect. Now, he probably doesn't like that. I don't care. But we're not going in a room with stacking the trays. It's ineffective. You think it's gonna help you? It's not gonna help you because we're not able to work and meet your deadline with everybody still in that room. So this is what we're gonna do. I'll walk away. Now I better be right, huh? My answer, my strategy better be right. But I'm using positive confrontation. I'm not yelling at him, telling him he's stupid. I'm not calling him names, and I'm not swearing at him. I'm just saying, let me do my job. If I don't do my job, do what you got to do. We're here to help you. I'm a partner. I call that tough-minded leadership. I don't care if you like me. It's okay. But you're not going to have me doing things that are going to hurt our company, and as a matter of fact, hurt you. I don't blame you, okay? Why the GC, some of those things you don't want to talk about, you know. But when they're don't embarrass, you know, people in front of anybody, you know, that's a lot of ways to talk. Don't start arguing with somebody in front of other people. That indicates you're a weak leader. Just think back, you're not going to talk to those boys in this room. You know, this other guy standing. I don't want to get into a confrontation with the other people watching this thing. Just walk away from the last talking about something. Big one is learn to say no tactfully. I'm not going to get 3 more guys out here tomorrow. We're not going to do that. Here's what we are going to do to meet your goals. Being tactful, not being abrasive or mean or angry. Conflict will go to level 5. Level 5 is you solve a problem and you calm down. Level 4 and come lower. Level 4 is you get emotional. Well, that's not I'm going to solve anything. So I got to learn to calm down. Maybe take a break. It's 10 minutes right now. Let's go get a cup of coffee, come back, and let's get the issues out on the table. That's level 5. So these are some of the things to be aware of. Solving image. No, avoid whining, blaming, and complaining. That just irritates me. Whiner, you know, they never have any answer, always whining about it, complaining. You don't even want to work with people like that. And you kind of abandon those kind of people. At least not a year. Just get it done. That whole job focus, if you're looking at the job, and is there any way I can help the GC in this situation? Not that it's not my job. Maybe I can help them. And always using to utilize the problem solving process. So before a job starts, what we should do is the project manager should contact the general contractor and ask for a meeting to review the job before we walk out. That's the PM's responsibility. All the GCs, we'd like to have a meeting with the job is starting next Monday. I'm going to bring my foreman to the meeting, my superintendent, my safety manager, and my warehouse guy. And we'd like you to bring your superintendent who's going to be in charge of that job, your estimator, If you have a safety guy, bring him, would you please bring him to the meeting? Anybody you think that will be involved in this job that we're starting next Monday, can we meet it on your turf for a couple of hours? How about it? So we can clarify expectations. I'm not waiting for the general contractor to call me. Why? Yeah, because he may not even be thinking of me. Expect me out there Monday at 7 o'clock in the morning. So the last communication we had. No, that's not going to fly. We got a lot of things to talk about. Clarify expectations. What happens if he refuses the meeting? No, I don't want a meeting. What do you do? Get your team together and figure out what you're going to do. Well, you've already got an obstacle. We're going to come up with our own plan, bring this job in, implement it, see where it goes. You're not always going to get that meeting. That lets you know whether you're dealing with a good GC or not. The good GC is going to give you the meeting. They just say, oh yeah, let's do that. We'll buy lunch. We'll meet in your conference room, but what would you like to eat? I'll bring lunch for everybody. See, I'm pretty good. So why am I doing it? Oh, right, but yeah, also next time, they get those guys together, they buy lunch. It's a positive thing. I might urge them to have the meeting, bring in lunch. We gotta have that meeting, but contract. Never read a contract? Did you? What is wrong with those contracts?
They indemnify the GC.
Let me read a clause to you and react to this clause in the contract. When you accept a contract which defines the scope of work as follows, a subcontractor is to supply all labor, materials, equipment, etc., necessary for a complete electrical installation. Would you buy that? You would? She would? You said no? Why would you buy that thing? Okay. Right. Now you gotta be his coach. You okay with that? He's okay with that. She knows what she's talking about. Because you hit the right thing, there was no clear definition there. It was very vague. It was non-specific, and you said make it specific. So before I signed it, I gotta meet with the GC and say, hey, we can't sign this. You're almost. Now, you need to put more different language in there. Just, et cetera. Never, et cetera has no place in the contract. None. Zero. What's wrong with et cetera? I own you. I own you. I do whatever I want, because et cetera is unknown. What does that mean? That's got to go out. Okay? There's no place in contract language, et cetera. None. Zero. That means you own me. If I sign it, you own me. And here's what we need to add to that. Supply all labor, materials, and equipment in accordance with the drawings and specifications. Right? That's a legitimate thing. In accordance with the drawings and the specs. Now I read the specs and it tells me what we're supposed to do. So what I'm getting at, most contracts, when you read them, they're vague in some cases. And they're vague deliberately because they want you to sign it. And I think that not only the owner of the company should sign it, I think a foreman should read a contract, a PM should read the contract, an estimator should read the contract. Those three people should write down any things they see in the contract, write it down, then have a meeting. And the owner, of course, should read the contract. If he wants one of his big beats to read it, fine, I don't care. But the foreman should then go into a conference room and say, here's what I don't understand this clause. We talk about it. Then we go back to the GC and say, clarify these 4 items before we sign it. If he doesn't want to sign it, then you got to make a decision. Maybe you'll take the job anyway. I don't know. But don't remember, it's on you now. You might say, well, we got good people, we'll be able to offset these problems. I don't know, whatever decision you make, now you own it. But once you sign it, you own it. Nobody's complaining after the fact. They'll laugh at you. Once you sign it. And I'm not saying all GCs do that, but I'm just trying to give you a heads up on when there's a lot of generalized language that is not definable, question it. At least question it. I'm not saying you're gonna get the support, but you better find out. Because you still may take the job because you need to work. I'm not saying don't take the job, that's kind of dumb. You know, but because good people will offset it. So, you know, be sure that when the contract, any nebulous language, you need to get that checked. So, you know, review all of that stuff. And then in the second handout, I gave you some, handout number one, we'll look at that key questions and information to extract from customers. Then you have an initial meeting with the prime contractor and an initial meeting with the general contractor check. So these are controls that you put in place so you don't forget about doing things. And this is what is called structure. And another word for organization is what? Structure. Disorganized companies have no structure, no controls in place. Go out and do the work. And you're going to have issues and problems. So those are samples that you can look at. Might be something you want to put in the company. These are actual forms from clients that I deal with that have given me permission to share this with the industry. A good, solid contractor is always willing to share information. It doesn't bother. When you say don't give it to the competition, you can. So like I said, one of the biggest problems I find is that there's some lack of structure and organization. People are winging it, and that's costing them. That is that one. Question? Let's take a 15-minute break.